We're standing in a landscape of sand and wind that feels impossible. This is Trump International, the climax of a 72-hour run-through of North Scotland. From the infinity greens of Cabot to the towering dunes of Aberdeen. We've put 200 miles on the car to see if this is the most dramatic golf trip in the world. But let's go back to the start.
There is a specific kind of silence you only find in the Highlands at dawn. We spent our first night at the Cabot cottages waking up to a sun that seemed to take its time rising over the Moray Firth. No rush, just the ritual of the morning. Packing the bags, the smell of gauze in the air and the quiet anticipation of what Cabot Highlands has waiting for us.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
First 3 holes is along by the Moray Firth with the lovely Black Isle in the distance, and the snow and Ben with us. Normally there'd be a 2 or 3 club wind. Today you've really lacked out. No wind at all. So no excuses.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well,
when we come to Scotland and we play links golf courses, we kind of always expect that battle with the terrain, you know, with the wind. We were kind of bracing ourselves last night for it, but now we've come here and it's actually...
there's plenty of other challenges though.
I know, but now we've got no excuse, like you say, so...
Well, if you're stuck, I've got a book full of excuses in there.
I might need to borrow that from you.
I could give you a few of them.
Thank you so much. Cheers. This isn't the Scottish experience that we were all expecting, but I think we're all welcoming it. I mean, the wind is non-existent, there is no rain. Left, trouble, right, trouble, but this place just gives you that wow factor immediately. It's absolutely unbelievable.
If you showed like these pictures to someone back home, they wouldn't believe you, but it's Scotland.
I wouldn't know where it was. Can you think of a course that we played that looks like this abroad?
No, it's something you can only get in Scotland.
Yeah, when we woke up this morning, the dew on the grass, fresh air, you can't beat it, it's unreal. Look at that cowbell.
Bounce that, imagine that.
Long before the Cabot name arrived, this was Castle Stewart, a modern masterpiece carved into the heritage of the Moray Firth. It was a course that reclaimed the rugged, broken edges of the coast, built to look like it had been here for centuries. But the recent evolution into Cabot Highlands has shifted the perspective. It's a marriage of Scottish soul and global ambition. They've taken a benchmark of links golf and raised the stakes, investing in a vision that asks more of the land and more of the golfer. Starting our trip here isn't just about playing around, it's about stepping into the next chapter of Highland history.
What did you think of the third, the short par 4? I mean, it's about a 60, 70 yard narrow green.
I think I hit an 8 iron, which I thought would be short, but the greens are running so fast. Yeah. Ran off to the back, and then luckily there was a little patch of grass.
Oh, it stopped it, got into the hazard.
Caught it, yeah.
If you miss it to the left, you've got that 2 little eyebrows.
Yeah.
The reason Mr. Parson put them in was to stop anybody patting it up the slope.
That's cruel.
And making you...
It's cruel.
It is very cruel. You end up going from the flat lie, a bare lie, to the beach.
I've never seen an eyebrow bunker before.
I've never seen them in any other golf.
Have you not?
Never. One of our caddies there, David, he puts from 70, 80 yards. It takes him 10 or 11 shots to get to the green, but he's deadly when he gets there.
He's attacking you.
There is something about a bowl of hot soup and a few stories from a starter like Lenny that grounds you, even when the golf is this challenging. But to stay on the fairway is to see only one side of this landscape. Beyond the dunes, the Moray Firth is a sprawling, restless frontier, a place where the mountains meet the tide in a collision of scale and shadow. We've traded the quiet precision of the links for the raw energy of the Firth. Our vessel is a high-performance powerboat and our goal is simple, to find the perspective you can only get from the water. The horizon is calling and it's time to see what lies beyond the shore.
So welcome to Inverness Marina and to your trip out with us today on Dolphin Mischief. My name's Peter and I'll be your skipper for this afternoon's trip. This area in green dries out at low tide, and that's of interest to us because we have a colony of seals which hopefully will be beached up there. If they're not on the beach, they'll be swimming around, so it's something else for us to look out for.
Could sleep in this. It's quite cosy actually. I feel like this is imperative for the conditions that we're about to face.
Oh wow, mate, I could sleep in this.
Mate,
It's like a sleeping bag.
Welcome to the Mischief.
The Mischief.
Oh my god. I feel like my turn. My turn.
Go on, then. If you think even he knew that was dreadful. I feel like if we find a dolphin today, it's going to be a good time for getting a birdie. That was not bad. I think that they're quicker though. Right, stop it. Stop.
Out here, the noise of the game just disappears. There is a strange clarity that comes with moving this fast across water this deep. You realise that as much as we came here for the golf, we really came for the scale of it all. The speed of the boat, the spray of the Firth, and the life moving beneath the surface. A moment to breathe before we head back to the turf. There's a different kind of energy here. Arriving at Trump International feels like pulling up to a fortress at the edge of the sea. The grey clouds don't feel like bad weather. They feel like the proper uniform for a place this grand. We've reached the final stop, 1 night left, 2 courses to play. The lodges are quiet, the dew is still heavy on the fescue, and the old course is sitting there, draped in the mist, waiting for us to begin the final chapter.
Welcome to the greatest 36.
They don't call this the greatest 36 for views alone. They call it that because of the demand it places on every swing. We start with the old course. It's a layout that feels less like a golf course and more like a journey through a mountain range of sand. The dunes here are skyscrapers, massive, intimidating sentinels that frame every fairway and swallow any shot that loses its way. There is no stepping into around here. You are plunged into it, and it's a test of whether your game can match the scale of the surroundings, or if the North Sea wind has other plans. The final test has begun, and on the old course, there's nowhere to hide.
The gravity here just feels different. Everything's on a larger scale. I think I've generally seen like smaller mountains in the Highlands and Inverness than the dunes here that's just going to be protecting these greens. I mean, we've got proper Scottish weather today. At Cabot we got lucky, but today at Trump, wind's here and it's getting stronger, and I feel like the rain's coming in. Last time we were here, Ali snap hook left. I think so far it went into the sea, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that'll be in his head on this first tee.
And that's gone. Oh, it's so far left.
We're trying to.
Oh, if he aims at a bush, a snap hook will be fine.
In your opinion, would you say a high handicapper is going to really struggle around here? What if they came to play? What would be your top tip?
Play an appropriate tee to your ability, because it's a tough course once you hit the fairway. You know, you've still a tough shot into up here.
Yeah.
You hit a drive, you still 2 bunkers on the left and a piece of rough. It's a narrow gap. Then from there you're playing into a raised green with lots of runoff.
Yeah.
So play the appropriate tee. Don't be too stubborn, as some guys are.
The starters' warnings are fair, but they tend to get lost in the scale of the surroundings. Out here, the intimidation of the scorecard is constantly at war with the beauty of the horizon. As we climb towards the second tee, the difficulty of the task ahead takes a back seat.
Mate, it's ridiculous. It's an absolute joke. It's honestly the best golf course.
What a view.
Greatest 36.
For sure. I think every single hole is a signature hole on this golf course. 36 signature holes.
Built in 2012, the old course was designed to be a giant, a links layout that returned the game to its most rugged, elemental roots. It's a landscape of extremes where the sand reaches towards the sky and the North Sea dictates every line you take. It was built to challenge the best in the world, but it stays with you because of its sheer scale. This is modern history written in the sand, and we're right in the middle of it.
Every time I play here, I'm just like, how? I just feel like the golf course has been devoured by mountains of sand, and I genuinely just can't believe it exists. Every time I come here, I think that.
Every single hole is like just got the wow factor, feels like a signature hole, and like the best thing, like these huge dunes you see, it's just a natural terrain, and they've just gone, right, let's just plod the golf course in that. It just feels right.
We've got wind coming off of the right. Tap the green.
I don't know what to do. 197. We played it before off the backs this one, and I think it was like a driver.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see.
It's just one of those. It's just again one of those things where I'm just bargaining with the golf course. I'll take a bogey. I'll be happy with it. Just let me get off the tee. Let me find the fairway. I mean, even on a par 3, and I'll be happy.
I genuinely would take that.
5 iron, sure.
So two good outcomes. I think we're gonna take both.
Somewhere in the middle of us would have been perfect.
Yeah.
There are many reasons as to why this is one of my favourite places to stand with a golf club in hand. Since it opened in 2012, it has redefined what a championship links can be. A relentless 6-mile journey through the tallest dunes in the country. It plays like a living thing. It's unpredictable, it's punishing, and it's hauntingly beautiful. It is a masterpiece of modern engineering and ancient geography. But as the sun sets on the old course, the drama isn't over. This 36-hole journey has one final act left to reveal.
The day I left for Bernie's army.
We've seen the giant, now it's time to see its successor. The new course is here and the test is just the beginning.
She could not look me in the eye.
The Trump estate was already home to an absolute giant, but this golf course feels like the second act every single golfer has been waiting for. Carved from the same towering dunes and rugged wetlands as its predecessor, this feels like a discovery, a cinematic expansion of what golf in Aberdeen is. This is the new course.
For years, this land was a whispered promise, a stretch of dunes so pure that it felt untouchable. But the brand new arrival of the MacLeod Course has officially shook the foundations of the golf world. To build one masterpiece is a feat. To find a second one hidden within the same dunes is almost unheard of. It has immediately set a new standard for what a modern links can be. Tighter, more intricate, and arguably even more dramatic than its predecessor. It hasn't just opened a new chapter for the Highlands, but it's redefined the entire map. We survived the giant, but now we get to explore the new mystery of Aberdeen.
So we've literally just rocked up to the 7th, and I said to Ali, this is the best par 3 that I have ever played. And that beats Druids Glen. Druids Glen was a masterpiece. Look at the elevation on there.
It's insane, really.
That is so nice. That is so nice. So we've gone from, the towering dunes at the old course where they're kind of, coming over you. They're surrounding the fairway. But what they've done here is they've taken a huge dune and they've said, well, hold on a second. Why don't we just build the hole into the dune? Always repair your marks. Or get someone to do it for you.
Told you got hit near my ball.
You take that.
So
I'm excited.
we've just played the 7th hole. So I guess it must come back round to this later on in the round. So you get 2 times at this incredible place.
I'm excited.
This looks so picturesque.
It almost looks something out of like Augusta, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
That sort of like white picket fence.
I think this is the best halfway hut I've ever seen.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah, what?
It's definitely one of the best I've seen.
Right lads, 72 hours, over 200 miles on the car, some incredible golf.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, lads.
To be honest, I was hesitant to come back. When you love a place as much as I love the old course, you're almost scared to see it change. I was worried the development might pull focus, that the second act could never live up to the first. But standing here now, I can see that the new course hasn't just lived up to the name. It's a masterpiece that manages to stand in the shadow of a giant without being eclipsed. It's the perfect final act for a trip that has been defined by the extraordinary. So we finish, as all great Scottish journeys should, a glass of the good stuff. A toast to the miles covered, the hazards survived, and the quiet power of the Highlands. We came wondering if this was the most dramatic golf trip in the world. But as the whiskey burns and the light fades over these new dunes, you realise the answer was never in doubt. The Highlands, drama defined.